If you think you're washed or your body hurts because you're not 21 anymore, you're not old. You're just stuck using a movement habit that's been ingrained, and now your body's breaking down because of it. I'm Dr. Cole Housel. I'm a physical therapist and performance coach who specializes in working with hoopers and high level lifters who still want to train and play hard, but not feel like their body is absolutely falling apart. How I helped Tony overcome his chronic knee pain and get back to playing basketball at a high level in his recreational leagues. Also, how I helped my client Mike overcome his forefoot pain that was limiting his ability to even just walk around the house, and now he's back to being able to play fives and do so with confidence in his body. Also, how I helped my client Dan overcome his chronic hip pain after years of failed physical therapy, and now every time he ramps up the intensity, he feels much more confident and capable in his body. And in all of them, the problem wasn't their age, it was their strategy or their lack of one. Real quick, before we get into the video, I have a free guide linked in the description below. It's going to teach you all about these concepts and frameworks that I'm discussing on this channel and on this video. It's going to teach you how to actually get out of pain and build yourself back up to that high performance state that you want to be in. But most importantly, learn how to take care of yourself for the long term. So feel free to grab that below. So first, we really just have to understand that your body's not washed, but your strategy is. So most guys that I work with have one thing in common. They're super stiff. Yeah, they might be strong in the weight room, but they're just locked up. They can't move well. They can't rotate really well. And they all just fall under the same category of their movement strategies in their body have just been reduced so that everything just moves like a refrigerator. They can't rotate well. If we can't rotate well, we can't distribute force very well throughout our body and throughout our joints. And if we can't do that, that's when pain starts to creep in and we get stuck in the same repetitive place where we just try to out train it. That's where the problem lies. So here's what I usually see. You have a rib cage that can't move, a pelvis that can't move, and an ankle and a foot that can't move. Those three areas are going to impact how else everything is moving and feeling. Your rib cage needs to be able to expand when you inhale in 360 degrees, and it needs to compress and contract when you exhale. And this is going to set yourself up to allow rotation to happen in your ribs and elsewhere in your upper body. We need to be able to have that in addition to your pelvis being able to rotate side to side. If everything just freezed up like a big old brick, you're going to move like a refrigerator or like a bodybuilder, which you don't actually want to do if your goal is to train hard, feel good, and perform at your best for the long term, especially if you love the game of basketball. When you're really stiff at the ribs and the pelvis, you're most likely going to be stiff at the foot and ankle as well. Your foot has two main shapes. It has supination and pronation. Most hoopers or lifters are going to be limited in their ability to pronate their foot, which is going to allow you to effectively press into the ground and use muscles effectively more upstream so you can distribute stress and pressure. Now, when we have all this stiffness throughout our body, whether it's all those areas that I'm talking about or just one of them, compensations are going to start to develop because you're still going to be able to move, obviously, but how you do that is going to come with some trade-offs. So whether it's lifting heavy in the gym or just training hard in general, or maybe playing basketball, you still need to move and get in and out of positions to execute the task that you want. But if you can't rotate and move well at certain joints, your body's going to find a way to compensate and put stress, extra stress, through certain joints. So if our pelvis and rib cage is super stiff, that might go to our low back. It might go to our hips specifically. If our foot's super stiff and ankle, you might get plantar fasciitis, Achilles issues, knee pain, jumper's knee. Any of these things can come up if all these joints are just stuck and you can't move. So now we have limited joint motion, either globally or locally, that is impacting our freedom and ease of movement. From there, our body is going to start to compensate and move in such a way that reinforces that stiffness, whether it's through our own training or movement habits. To layer on top of that, our nervous system, which check out my most recent video that talks about this, is the controller of everything, and it's designed to keep you safe. And so if you start to develop a painful knee, hip, low back, ankle, or foot, your nervous system is going to try to protect you and find workarounds so that it doesn't always have to load that area. And by other trade-offs, you're going to start loading other areas. And it just snowballs over and over again and things get reinforced. That's why people historically develop bad knees when they're 40 or 50 years old, because they never actually address these things and they just kind of chalk it up to getting older. And so to just wrap up this section with a nice little bow, you might be working hard and training really hard and have impressive numbers in the gym, but your body is fighting you and you're not actually working through things the way that you need to if you want to achieve your goals. If you just want to get super strong in the gym, you might be able to just ignore this stuff for a while. But if your goal is feeling good, training hard, and getting on the court for a long time, you want to be able to address these things. So now that we know what the heck is going on, we actually can reverse engineer this process to know exactly what to do to start fixing things. And the really cool thing is you actually don't have to stop training. We just have to adjust how you're training. So number one, we have to add variability back into your system. Ribs, pelvis, knee, ankle and foot, whatever it may be. If joints aren't moving, we have to get them moving again. We have to recapture some range of motion, and they need to be able to show and demonstrate they can get in and out of these ranges of motion. We just work on activities to address those limitations. Next, we have to load intentionally. So we can't just be rolling around the floor or breathing to unlock your rib cage. We need to do more than that. We can use load to lock in the results that we're getting from our mobility work. By doing this intentionally, like I mentioned, we're actually going to avoid flare-ups as well for the most part, because we're teaching you how to move in new ways that aren't loading the same areas that you were once using before. Adding some load back into the system that supports the goals of recapturing that mobility and variability in our movement is going to be super helpful and powerful. Now, what you can see here is that we're actually rebuilding your capacity in layers. First, we're resetting the system. We're getting motion back where motion is lost. Then we're rebuilding it through intentional loading and training. So it looks like more training in the gym, but under the context of what we're actually trying to accomplish and reinforce. And then from there, we can actually reload everything together and scale it back up into basketball performance or whatever it is your goals are, training based, athletic based, whatever. Can your body hold on to everything that we gain from the range of motion to the training and express that in the thing that you care about most? Now, the final part of this fix, which is really going to keep you in good shape for the long term, is just simply tracking your training volume. Everyone wants to go Goggins and train 7 days a week and run 6 miles a day and lift and do X, Y, and Z. But the reality is this just isn't a smart way to go about doing things from a longevity perspective. You might be super mentally tough, and I don't take anything away from them. That style physically is not going to hold up well for the long term. You're just going to run yourself into the ground. So you have to track how often you are training, whether it's lifting sessions, running your cardio sessions, or running pickup, running fives, you have a league going on. Track all these things because you'll get a good gauge on how much you can do before your body starts to fall apart. Make sure that you're managing your volume well. And one more thing I'll say on this as an example is like LeBron is the biggest testament to this. He load manages, even though he plays a lot of games, he picks his spots when to go really hard and when to kind of coast. But he's done this for 20 plus years now, where he actually manages his volume accordingly so he can still be super athletic when he needs to be, even at the age of 40 plus. This is the secret to staying athletic for the long term. Manage your volume, manage your training, and think about it intentionally if you really care about this. And I probably should have said this earlier, but if this is hitting home, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, or drop a comment down below if you have any questions on anything that I've talked about. You want some clarity on your situation, what's going on with you, or simply to give me feedback on this style of video, anything that you want to see in the future, or just if this is super boring and dry and you want to see something else from an editing perspective or a presentation perspective, let me know about it. I want to get better. I want to help you out. The take home from all of this is that you're not washed, you're not broken, you just need the right plan. We just got to pull you out of it and scale it up over time. Manage your training volume. You're going to be in good shape. You're going to feel athletic. You're going to feel good in your body, and you're going to be able to do so for as long as you reasonably want to. So again, grab that free guide. I linked in the description below. But if you want specific advice and help for you, I offer a free evaluation call where we will dive into the specifics of your situation, build out a game plan and a roadmap so you know exactly how to get from where you are to where you want to go. And at the end of that, if you like what you're hearing, we can talk about what it looks like to work together. But if not, no worries. I'm going to give you some clarity and some value anyway, so that you know exactly what you need to do about your situation. Even though you're not in high school anymore, you still deserve to train hard, move well, and do so for the long term. I'll see you in the next one.